1000 is a very big and special number, right? For pretty much everything. But I think 1000 videos is something that is just beyond special because it's not just 1000 videos, it's 1000 ideas, it's 1000 creations that I thought of and I just put out there into the world, and people actually like them, and that still shocks me to this day. But yeah, we're at 1000 videos. This is the 1000th video, and I am just super grateful and just super happy about it, and this is a cause for celebration. So what is the 1000th video? Well, I thought of this idea that I think is a pretty good one, because one of the biggest things about my channel is that I like a lot of characters, arguably too many characters, but I want to just put that to rest today, and I'm gonna do a top 10 list of my 10 favorite champions in this game, because yeah, I've been told every champion is my favorite, right? But this is the real deal. This is my actual 10 favorite characters in this game, and some might surprise you for sure. So yeah, we have 10 champions that I think are not only my favorite because of their gameplay, but because of their story, what they've done for me and my channel, and so much more. And let's start off with some honorable mentions. So I might have lied, it might be a top 12 because I have 2 honorable mentions, but number 12 is a champion that no one would have guessed. Absolutely no one. And number 12 is gonna be Beast. Now let me explain this one real quick. Beast is a champion that just means a lot to me, because Beast was my first ever 4-star rank 4. And back in the day, that was massive. That was putting a ring on someone. That was that important back in the day, a rank 4 4-star character, because you were committed to that champion. And I had Magic at the time, who was really, really good. I had so many different pretty strong characters, but I picked Beast because there's something about that there's something about him that just made me fall in love with the character, and I used him for literally everything. And I was 10 years old at the time. No, I wasn't 10. Was I 10? I was either 10 or 11 at the time, and I didn't know how the game worked. I didn't know who was good, right? So I just wanted to have some fun. And Beast was the champion that I just enjoyed the most. And fun fact, Beast was the first ever champion I pulled from a featured hero crystal. So yeah, me and Beast have a ton of history, and I just love that character, and I wish so very badly that he was the main Saga champion and not Nightcrawler, because to be honest, I think Beast is way more important in Marvel lore, because he is a very intelligent person that offers a lot to not only the X-Men but for all of Marvel. But no, it's Nightcrawler instead. Okay, I'm sorry for getting mad about that, but it should have been Beast, right? Do y'all agree? I'm sure y'all agree, because he is just the way cooler character in my opinion. But yeah, Beast, honorable mention, and he's kind of the reason why I am here right now, because he made me like this game so much. So yeah, I had to mention him at least. And next up is Chee'ilth. Now, actually no, I'm gonna put her number 10 because I think that she is worthy of number 10 given the story behind how I got her. So we'll save her for the top 10 list. We'll give the next mention to Mangog. This one's a bit crazy, right? Because you would think Mangog would be really high on the list, but no, there are other champions that I do love more than Mangog. Now this character is, okay, it's a bit complicated, because I think he's a really cool character, backstory wise, being the combined hatred of a billion beings, and just having all that power and all that hatred. I think it's super cool, but he's also just really fun to play. And of course I'm gonna mention this because he's extra large. He's just so adorable. That's the main reason why I like him so much, because he is just, yeah, so adorable, right? He's just this jumbo-sized killing machine. That's not cute. That part isn't cute, but the other part is. But yeah, I think Magog just a really cool character, and that's why he's an honorable mention, because he hasn't spoken to me. I haven't really there's no important thing that he's done for me on my channel really, but I think he's still a very cool character. And this is the same case for Quicksilver as well. Just a very cool champion that I really enjoyed back then, but he hasn't done enough for me to like, you know, put him on this list, because there isn't much of a backstory behind him that like I really enjoy, and he hasn't like done much for me or my channel either. He is just a very awesome champion that I think is really cool looking. So yeah, those are my, I guess, 3 honorable mentions, but now it's time for the top 10, and jumping into number 10, we have Chee'ilth. So you can guess why this character is on this list, right? Because she was my reward for Battle Realm Brawl. That was one of the best times of my life, like being genuinely serious. Oh, because it's like, it's hard to explain, but I wasn't gonna go to that originally, believe it or not, because I had a pretty big depressive episode before it, and I was telling myself that I'm not gonna like handle it well, so I just shouldn't go to Canada. And I was about to tell my parents like, hey, I'm not gonna go. But then I was talked into going, and then I went, and then I had the best time ever. And hey, I was a semi-finalist as well, so I think all in all, it was a pretty successful time. And for my reward for Battle Realm Brawl, I got a 6-star rank 5 Chee'ilth. And whenever I see that champion, I just think about the memories of Vancouver, and like, you know, just how much I want to go back to it, because yeah, Vancouver is such a beautiful place as well. It wasn't just Battle Realm Brawl, it was just Canada in general, just such a nice place. And whenever I think of Canada, I think of Chee'ilth as well. Now, Chee'ilth as a character is also really cool, like being the warrior of the spirits, being like the one to go against the one below all. I think it's a really great backstory, and she's also pretty fun to play as well. So yeah, Chee'ilth just honestly really means a lot to me, and it's just super fun and just a really cool character. So she is number 10 for sure. And number 9 is going to Kraven the Hunter. Now back then it would have been a lot different, but the nerf just really crushed me, to be honest. And you know, he was gonna not make the list in the first place. However, I think he does deserve a spot on the list now, because yeah, I ascended him and he is just still super fun to play. But not only that, it is just the whole character and like his whole backstory as well. Like this hunter that is craving the one final hunt, and he's gonna go on this one final hunt, and that's what like kind of brought him to the battle realm. I think that's really cool. I just wish they executed it better, because he just is bad, you know, and that does hurt me a lot, but he can do some pretty cool things, and I think he is a really awesome character. And he was one of my first ever rank 4 6-stars. He actually got me Paragon, so he does mean a lot to my account and my channel as well, because he was one of my first ever, like, you know, showcases, one of my first ever special trailer videos. He was my first one, actually. He was my first ever special trailer video character. So yeah, I love Kraven the Hunter. I just wish that he was a bit better overall, but it is what it is. I still love him, and I think he is, you know, maybe one day getting buffed, right? I hope he is. I really do. But now it's time for number 8. Number 8 is going to be Ikaris, and back in the day he was my number 3, but you know, times are changing and my opinion on characters is also changing as well, but I still love Ikaris so much. And there's a lot of reasons why. Like, okay, back in the day when he was about to come out in like 2021, I was the biggest simp for this character because I just loved his design. I was like, okay, I need this guy ASAP. I am just such a huge fan of this character, and I really want to just get this character ASAP. And you know, that was when my YouTube career, or like career with like, you know, the quotation marks, was just starting, right? And I was in school. I was just like, you know, waiting for him to come out like during my lunch period, and I like rushed the video ASAP because I wanted to be the first person to cover Ikaris because I was just such a fanboy of this character. And after that, I was just like, okay, I am fully committed to this character. I grinded his arena out and I got him as a 5-star, and then yeah, the rest is history. I made so much content with him. I enjoyed the champion so much despite him just not being that good, but I made sure that, like, you know, he at least was given a shot, right? And now today he is an ascended 6-star character on my account, and I still love him just as much. So yeah, like Ikaris, just such a cool character, to be honest. And yeah, he is number 8 on this list. Now number 7 is a bit of a, it's a duo, okay? Number 7 is Maestro and the Overseer. Now, these two characters are so special to me. First, Maestro, because he was my first ever rank 3 7-star character, and he just really means a lot to me because, you know, my first rank 3 7-star, that just really means a lot. And he is Maestro. He is a final boss in this game, and he is playable now. That is the coolest thing ever. This man, you had to fight him in Act 4, and he was really annoying back then. He is the final boss of Labyrinth of Legends. It's so, like, surreal to me. And his backstory being like this evil Hulk that just terrorizes everything, oh, that's just amazing as well. Like, I just love this character so much. And then you have the Overseer as well. Beautiful, just beautiful stuff. Like, Overseer Maestro, I love how he is, you know, also related to Maestro because he is literally Maestro, but just before he went on his reign of terror. Like, he did do some bad things while he's the Overseer because, as you can see, he has like Cap Shield, he has Silver Surfer's board. He's done some pretty bad things already, right? But nowhere near what the Maestro has done. This is him, like, building up to that character. So yeah, like, these two combined, just such a cool pairing, such a cool backstory, and I am just in love with these two characters. The Overseer just being one of the first ever characters showcased on my channel, and he was my first, like, he was one of the first ever videos to pop off as well. So yeah, that was just insane back then. But yeah, I love the Overseer. I love Maestro as well, and yeah, just an iconic duo, really. Now it's time for number 6, and number 6 was between two special characters, and now that I'm thinking about it, I wish I would have just had like another 2-way entry because, actually no, because these characters aren't like related at all. It was between Galan and Longshot, and I forgot to put like one or the other like somewhere on the list, so I'll just say both of them right here because I love these characters so much. So yeah, maybe I'm cheating a bit with the top 10, but I don't care. It's my special video, okay? I can bend the rules a little bit. But yeah, Galan is just such a beautiful character. Like, he is Galactus, but if Galactus just took a different path, right? And that is pretty sweet. It's like pretty cool to think about as well, how like the only way Galactus could be playable is if he like took a different path in his life. And yeah, he took that path, and here he is as a playable champion that is just very good as well. His animations are beautiful, his backstory is just phenomenal. And then there's Longshot. Longshot, you know, isn't the flashiest character, but he was one of my favorites back then, and I think I still love him so much right now too because he is just so fun to play. And I did this series called Journey into the Abyss, which, by the way, shout out to Captain America Infinity War because he did it first. And yeah, Longshot was one of the champions that I did that with too, and he just crushed it. And that was one of my like best series ever, I feel like, because I just put in a ton of work on that series, and I still think that Longshot's just such an awesome character. I love his gameplay, I love his animations. So yeah, number 6, I'll give it to these two because I kind of like them, not because of what they've done for my channel, but just because they are very awesome champions. But these next 5 characters have all done a lot for my channel and just for me as a whole. So we'll get to the top 5 right now. And first, we have number 5, which is going to be Knull. Knull, if you don't know, was one of the mainstays, one of the absolute workhorses on my channel when it first started. He did so much for me, it is insane. A full labyrinth path, like 7.3, a ton of boss fights that were all featured on my channel that all did very, very well. This guy kind of jump-started my YouTube channel, but another champion did it even more, but we'll get to them later. Knull is just such an amazing character. Like, he's really, really good in the game, obviously, but he's also just super cool. Like, he is the symbiote king. He is like the king of being edgy. Yeah, sorry Vox, it ain't you, buddy. It's Knull. He's way cooler. And yeah, I love this character, man. And I just have a massive appreciation for like what he's done for my channel too, because him and someone else who's on this list kind of just carried it really. So yeah, massive, massive props to Knull. And speaking of that other character, number 4 is going to be Hercules. This might sound crazy, right? Because my channel's built off of champions that, you know, don't get too much attention, but Hercules is number 4. Why is that? Well, Hercules was the character that got my channel going. Straight up. He was my first video that popped off. He started everything. And that's insane because, you know, how did a Herc video pop off? Everyone knows like how good he is and stuff. Well, here's the thing. This was when Hercules was brand new and no one knew how good he was yet. And I kind of like helped jumpstart his massive popularity that of course was going to get figured out eventually, right? But I was one of the first people to post about him, and I posted a video of him in incursions and it just did really crazy numbers, and I'm so happy that it did, because if that didn't happen I wouldn't be here right now talking about it, right? But yeah, Hercules, he's a pretty awesome character, the first Summoner's Choice champion, and you gotta appreciate that as well. I honestly love Hercules so much, and I think that he deserves a lot more love. I know he's not really liked by most people because of him being too broken, but I kind of just look past that, and when I look past that, I just see a very fun champion with like a pretty awesome personality, like in the motion comics and everything. So yeah, just such a lovable champion, such a fun character as well, and if it wasn't for him I would not be here. So yeah, thank you Hercules, massive, massive love to ya. And now it's time for the top 3. And you can guess the other 2 probably, but the third one is going to be very surprising probably. And it's Gladiator. Number 3 is Gladiator. Crazy stuff, right? Like, you would not think that Gladiator would be number 3, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain why I love Gladiator so much, but I think I know why. And it's because what I like about Gladiator isn't about what he does in the game. It's more like what he's about, because he's all about confidence. And I've said it before, but one of my biggest struggles is confidence, right? I just can't seem to get any to save my life. But Gladiator kind of is someone to admire, because, you know, he's had his struggles too, right? For example, when he first came out, he was regarded as absolute garbage, and, you know, for a confident character, you don't really want to be, like, called bad all the time, because how can you even prove yourself when people already hate you? But then, you know, he got buffed, right? And the buff is going to come out very soon, and it is a thing of beauty, and I think it is so well done, and I think that, you know, when I play Gladiator now, like the buffed version, I feel the confidence in the character. I feel like he is something new, something like completely brand new that is nothing like how he was before, because this Gladiator feels confident, right? And I kind of admire that, because it shows that, yeah, you can just build up confidence over time despite anything that's happened before, and I like that. I like that about Gladiator, and it's all in his character as well, right? He is a character that builds off of confidence. And that's, you know, something that I want to do one day, just get some more confidence, and what better way than playing a character that is just built right off of it, right? And, you know, Gladiator, such an awesome champion too, really fun to play, beautiful animations, just super rad as well, with like that victory animation, the laser blast, the freaking ice breath, bro. It's all super dang cool. But yeah, Gladiator, I just think he's an awesome character overall, and he is number 3 for me personally. Now it's time for the top 2, and you can just guess immediately who these champions are. Number 2 is going to Namor, however, because Yeah, water characters, you know, I love them so much, and Namor was the first water character, and he is just such a, like, amazing champion as well. I think he is still so underrated, still one of the most unique champions in the game, but I'll be completely honest, it is just him being such like a rare champion type. Like, there's only 2 water characters in the game, and it's Namor and Atuma. By the way, shout out to Atuma. Didn't make the list, but I think he's still pretty cool. But yeah, Namor, just the OG water character, someone that just spoke to me immediately because he's like pretty much all we got for water characters besides Atuma. But yeah, while he hasn't like been super impactful on my channel, he is just such a rare character, and like, I think he is just so special, both gameplay animation wise and like champion ability wise. So I've always liked this character. I think he is so awesome still, and he is really a thing of beauty, to be honest. So that is my number 2, and my number 1, so easy to guess, is of course Mole Man. Where do I start with this champion? It's just like crazy how, you know, I used to not like this character, and then just one day I was like, let me give this champion a shot. So it was like one cyber weekend, right? And I got like all these resources to max out a 5-star character, and I picked Mole Man. I took Mole Man to rank 5 as a 5-star, gave him all my signature stones, and this was pre-buff, and I was telling people like, hey, this guy isn't that bad pre-buff. I think he's pretty good right now. I think he's honestly like not too shabby. And of course no one listened because it was pre-buff Mole Man, and I was like, okay, fair enough, sure. And then he got a buff, and when he got buffed I was like, you know, it's whatever. I wasn't really like a fan of Mole Man at the time, so I was like, yeah, I don't really care about this buff right now. And then like one day randomly I was just like, hey, Mole Man, didn't he get buffed? And I played with him, and I was like, oh my god, this champion is like, at the time I wasn't really like into the game. I was kind of just like bored of it. I was debating of just like retiring for a bit, but then he just gave me that spark to play again, and I did play, and the reason I played was so I could max him out. And so I loved this champion so much. I was just playing him all the time, and I used him for Alliance War, I used him for pretty much every piece of content there was, and yeah, I just fell in love with the champion, and no matter what I'm doing in the game, I'm always bringing Mole Man at this point, because he is just my right-hand man. And also Giganto Jr. is, of course, very adorable, and I think that's kind of why I got back into the character, because yeah, Giganto Jr., just such an adorable character, right? You know, he's jumbo size, which is already a massive plus. And also like the backstory of Mole Man, well, not the backstory, but like the motion comic for Mole Man as well, is also really sad, because, you know, Mole Man isn't the most attractive looking guy, and he was kind of like shunned by society, so it does like suck for him. But there was one person that was just always there by his side, and it was Giganto Jr. And I think that's just super sweet, and that's why I love this pairing. I think that Giganto Jr. and Mole Man just are fantastic, and I think that they're so fun to play, and I just always use them all the time, and I'm gonna keep on using them until the game finally goes out. But yeah, that's my number 1, always my number 1. I love Mole Man so much, and he will always be my favorite character. I think even if Orca is added, it will still be Mole Man. So yeah, there's my number 1 character. You know, probably would have guessed it, but yeah, it has to be Mole Man, right? But yeah, there is my top, I guess 15, yeah, top 15 favorite champions in the game. I just love all these characters a ton, but you know, I have some characters that just mean so much to me, like, you know, Mole Man, Gladiator, Hercules, Namor, of course. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this video. Thank you again for 1,000 videos. That is just insane to me still, and here's to 1,000 more. And yeah, that's about it for me.